This video is made possible by North Naperville Autos. If you're looking for a quality used car in the Chicagoland area, North Naperville Autos is here to help. Browse their inventory at northnapervilleautos.com and drive home in a new vehicle today. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2001 Acura CL Type-S. Up front is a 3.2 liter V6 and down below is a 5-speed automatic transmission. Now I'm super excited to be driving this CL Type-S because back in 2001 when this car came out, it was actually the most powerful front-wheel drive Honda ever made. And so let's see how well it's aged. Before we get back to the rest of the video, if you are interested in helping out the channel, please click some of the links in the description below from our awesome sponsors. We have Con Plates, which is a suction cup license plate mount. We have Cash for Cars if you want to sell your vehicle in the easiest way possible. And we also have the fixed OBD2 Bluetooth sensor that will pair right to your smartphone. Every purchase or quote goes to helping the channel and it's greatly appreciated. But let's get back to the video. Let's get back to that 3.2 liter V6 under the hood. Well, it makes about 260 horsepower, which honestly, for a little car like this, isn't too bad. It's a J-Series engine from Honda, which most notably has made the J-Series 3.5 and swapped into probably every other Honda chassis by some aftermarket tuner. So the J-Series engines are actually pretty good. They haven't had really too many big issues, and Honda has used them forever and ever and ever to the point where they actually still use the 3.5 liter J-Series in modern day Honda Odysseys, which is pretty interesting. All right, 3.2 liter V6. Not bad. Not bad. A little bit of torque steer, actually a lot of bit of torque steer when it does end up shifting. It sort of throws the car off balance a little bit, but besides that, it's powerful. It sounds good. It sounds actually a lot better than I thought it would under load. And like I said at the top of the video, this is the most powerful front-wheel drive Honda to date, so it's kind of fun driving it. Like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed automatic transmission. However, later Type S's you could find in a manual transmission if that's something you'd like to seek out. Now, Acura did have problems with this transmission. And honestly, I've felt a couple surges here while driving this particular car. It's felt uneasy. It's shifted at a couple questionable times. Which is interesting given the fact that this only has 50,000 miles on it. That's a little soon for a transmission to start giving way, but that's Honda for this era. The Odysseys of the same generation and year had a similar issue. Last but not least, the CL is front-wheel drive. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have three main gauges. On the left is my tachometer, in the center is my speedometer, and on the right is my fuel and coolant temperature. I like the overall look of the gauges. They are white-faced, which was kind of par for the course in the early 2000s, especially on a sportier model. On the steering wheel, I have my audio settings on the left and cruise control on the right, and nothing else there. It looks honestly like a modified Civic DX steering wheel with an Acura logo in place of the Honda, so it's not that interesting or unique. It's this hard leather / plastic feeling material, and I can't say I'm in love with it. To the left of me, I do have my traction control and cruise control, as well as my sunroof settings. So again, like a late 90s Honda Civic, the sunroof controls are actually off to the left. I also have a gauge dimmer switch, and moving on to the door, I have two different memory seat options, which is fantastic. I have heated mirrors, and my power windows. Moving into the center, I have a climate control vent, a little clock with my hazard switch and climate controls. Very, very basic here. Something I would expect out of a Civic, but not quite out of a CL. A CL, I feel like, is a more grand touring coupe almost. A luxury coupe, a personal luxury car. And so I expect a little bit more out of the climate controls, but that's okay. Then I have a little pop-out cubby. Not really sure what this is for. And then I have an aftermarket radio because every radio from the 90s is pretty much garbage. And yes, this is a 2001, but it's a lot of late 90s tech. Down below that, I do have an ashtray and 12-volt outlet for your cigarette lighter or device. And then I get another little cubby that's surrounded by the heated seat option. So I do get high and low heated seats here in the CL Type-S, which is nice. Again, sort of speaking to that luxury coupe sort of mentality. Then I do get the shifter itself, and the shifter does say Type S on the top, which is very nice. And it's one of those jigsaw shifters from Honda where there's no button, you just kind of have to move it in an awkward way in order to get it in and out of gear. This is a safety precaution, so if you slip and move it forward, it won't change gear on you. It's fine. Like I said, I like that Type S accent at the top, but other than that, it's pretty forgettable. Then I do have cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test. And while the bottle initially fits into it, it doesn't seat properly. So unfortunately, the Type S CL fails the big friggin' bottle test. Then I do get a center armrest, and we'll talk about the seats. Now, the seats are higher bolstered than the stock CL seats because of that Type S package. That's one of the things it does get. And these are right on the edge of being comfortable. They are slightly narrow for bigger people like me. However, at the end of the day, I am still comfortable. They're heated, they're power, and they're memory, so I can't knock it too hard. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2001 Acura CL Type-S, and honestly, I got out of the car and forgot it was a coupe, so I went to go grab the back door handle, and it wasn't there. Now, this seat is extremely moved up. It would be a little cramped back here if it was in its actual driving position, but when I pull the handle to lean it forward to get back here, there's actually a power mechanism that moved it all the way up, expecting that there would be a driver to move it back into the normal position, but alas, it's just me today. Headroom is actually decent, not bad. I do have to, crouch my head a little bit, but if I sit up perfectly straight, I'm just barely hitting the ceiling, which is better than most coupes that I review. Now, I do have a center console here, which can flip up and down. This is a 2+2, there is no middle seat. However, what's interesting is that down here, there's actually a really big storage container that can be locked from the front, which is really interesting. I don't know if I've seen that or noticed that in a lot of the coupes that I review. So kind of interesting. You get a lockbox back here that can be locked with the car's key. Pretty neat. So with that being said, let's go take a quick look at the trunk, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the Acura CL, and I actually forgot to show you guys. I'll close it here. On the key fob, you do get a trunk popper, and it actually lifts the trunk up a little bit, so you don't have to get fingerprints on the outside or anything like that. But once we're in the trunk, tons and tons of space back here. Really, really great space, especially for a coupe. I'm really impressed, and it has this nice Acura mat. I mean, this is a bigger trunk than a lot of cars that I review, even in modern standards. Like a brand new Honda Civic has less trunk space than this, which is really nice to see. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I feel like I just don't see a whole lot of these, so this is still kind of interesting for me to look at. It is a coupe Acura, which in today's market does not exist anymore. There aren't any more coupes, and honestly, Honda in general has moved away from coupes in the last couple of years. But it's an interesting car, a luxury performance coupe. I mean, it's a lot of words that aren't really thrown together all that much anymore. So let's get to my final thoughts. What do I think of the CL Type-S? Well, I honestly think that this is a great performance coupe. Is it going to carve absolute canyons? No. And I wish it had a manual transmission. But the Type-S suspension's a little stiffer, the seats are a little bit more aggressive, and that 3.2 liter, 260 horsepower is more than you need. That's more than the turbocharged Mazda 3 that came out this year. I mean, 260 horsepower is a lot. And honestly, it's kind of interesting to see that this is one of those cars that, well, time has sort of forgotten. When was the last time you or one of your buddies said, oh, you're looking for a car, what about a CL Type-S? Honestly, before today, I didn't really know much about them. But I really do think that this is a hidden gem from Honda in the early 2000s. So what's sad is that this car has been overshadowed. It hasn't gotten the fame and limelight that it really truly deserves, because this is really truly fun. It's a fun to drive car, and it's a coupe, and it's reliable. I mean, what more can you want out of a daily driver car? Hondas and Acuras of this era were really, really good, and this is just another notch on Honda's bedpost. Maybe I'm starting to miss Honda coupes. They recently left the market. They no longer make the Accord coupe. Maybe I'm starting to miss it a little bit. Maybe. Maybe. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to North Naperville Autos for letting me take out their CL Type-S. This is really interesting. Definitely an interesting view into Acura of the early 2000s. I will leave my Acura RSX review from the same era at the end of this video. But North Naperville Autos is absolutely awesome. They have tons of really cool and interesting inventory, like this CL Type-S, or a right-hand drive Supra, or a Turbo 300ZX, or Mustangs, or down to Chevy Aveos, Chevy Trailblazers, Subaru Outbacks, whatever it might be. North Naperville Autos has you covered. If you're looking for a used vehicle in the Chicagoland area, they should be your first stop. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.